All right, just waiting for the stream to catch up with me. I got an ad. I got an ad on my own stream. Okay, I'm assuming this will be working shortly. All right. Looks like we're live. Hello? How's it going? Alrighty, so God, it's been a while since I've done this. I used to stream pretty regularly on Twitch, and then I just stopped for like 2 years. I think it's actually 2 years to the day since the last time I streamed, or maybe 1 year to the day. Maybe it's not that extreme, but hi everyone. Hello. God, there's quite a gang of you. Hello there. I just saw a question blip past. Hang on, no, stop. It's too fast. It's too much. How do questions work, or do we ask or do we donate? No, don't worry about donations. I'm not here for donations. That's not this game. This is just chill. This is just gonna chill. We're gonna unwind. We're gonna hang out for a spell, and then we're gonna go live our lives. So and also, do you like that? Where is it? There. Do you like that? I got a little pop-up for questions popping up. So, yay! There we go. So, oh God, it's moving a bit too fast. It's audio is left channel only. Audio is left channel only. That is fun. That is super fun. Now, how do I tell it to not be the left fucking channel? Just who needs both ears anyway? Advanced audio properties. It is showing as dead in the center for me. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to. Yeah, what was it, Walden? Was that you who pointed out that it's just the left channel? Is it really just the left fucking hecking channel? I'm gonna try and avoid swearing. You didn't hear that one, Mike. If I just make it left channel only, so right now it's just the left channel. Have I now just muted myself? Or can you still hear me? Or has that made no difference? You hear left, watching two at the same time, left channel only, still left. Mono gay, both. We've got both. Maybe you can move around the mic. It's not that kind of a mic, it's just the left. Well, it's mono. Okay. I don't know how to fix this right now. So I hope you don't mind I'm only a single channel. It has been a while. Did I mention it's been a while since I last done a stream? No difference, just the left. Well, shit. So let me just go ahead and put that back to... Oh, wait a minute. I see a magic button. Now, has that fixed it? That might have fixed it. There was a button that it was called mono, and I clicked on it. Is that working? It's fine. Don't mind. It's fixed. There we go. All right. Yeah, this is it. Just, yeah, if you got blocked here, that's fine. That's the true Eddache experience. Anyway, hi. How's it going? I need to stop rambling and actually get on with stuff. So, we're going to hang out for about an hour. And we're just going to chat. We're going to hang out. I'm going to answer some questions. But first of all, let me just close the audio window there. But first of all, the most pressing question is, where the bloody hell is the Eddache video this month? And it's not there. It is not here. What I've done is it's been a new experience of my son going to school, and something that I failed to truly respect is the half term. It's the off school period. So there was Easter break, and my son was off for 2 whole weeks, and that was lovely. We did a lot of stuff together. We went and played golf. We saw family. We saw the Mario movie. I went to take him to his first experience of the cinema for the Mario movie. And it was lovely. That was a lovely experience. He really, really enjoyed it. And as a result, I lost half of the month for working on a new video. So my sort of conundrum, if you want, is I could either spend 2 weeks giving you, frankly, a half-baked video, right? I could spend 2 weeks for the sake of a monthly video. I could spend 2 weeks and just like hardcore, really fast, try and sort of bash out a video, or I could spend 6 weeks giving you an even better video. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna spend 6 weeks making a better video for you. So I thought, to make up for it, we'll do this. We'll do a live stream Q&A. The last time I did a live stream on the Eddache channel was the April Fool's Day. When was that? 2018? 2019? Quite a long time ago. It was for April Fool's Day. And I had it be a 24-hour lo-fi radio station. So basically the I still got the, it's this thing, right? It's this thing. If you remember that, I had that running for 24 hours with lo-fi music, and it was mixed in with like Christmas music and my own music and stuff like that. So there's no super chat because, again, I'm not taking money for doing this. I am. Maybe that's more chaotic. Maybe that's in fact made this experience worse. I'm sorry. I'm very old, but I just wanted to give you the. I'm not here to raise money. I'm not here to generate money here. You know, I just want to hang out and answer questions. So let's get on with questions. Let's get on with those questions. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth between answering questions that I spot in the chat versus ones that people have left on my Patreon. So if you're a patron, jump over to the Patreon page. The latest post will be about this Q&A. Leave a question in there, and I will be jumping back and forth. Question from the chat, question from the patrons. Back and forth. Just like that, right? So I'm going to hop to... I didn't mean to click on that, but opinion on Finland. I've been to Finland. It was one of my favorite ever holidays. So growing up as a family, we'd go on beach holidays, right? Sun holidays. And I've always wanted to go on a snow holiday. I've never been to a snowy holiday. So it was a lot of money. But we went to Finland. We stayed in a ski resort, but we went skiing once because we don't ski. That was a disaster. And we went on we were pulled by huskies. We went up a mountain. We saw the Aurora Borealis at this time of year in this part of the country, entirely within our kitchen. And Finland was lovely. It was just definitely one of the best ever holidays I've ever had. So that was an accidental question. I'm going to do another little question there. If I could just scroll up a little bit. Ha says, what's your opinion on Power Rangers Once and Always? I only read that as Power Rangers. So I haven't seen Once and Always. I really want to, because it was that gang of Power Rangers were my Power Rangers, the original, the OG crew, right? I remember that being a big deal throughout my school, and I remember I went to America for a holiday, and on there I caught so the UK at the time was like very much behind where the US was with episodes of Power Rangers. So I watched an American version of Power Rangers, and that's where I caught wind of the White Ranger. So I went back to my UK school. I was like, oh my god, everyone, there's a White Ranger. It was a big deal. I was a very popular. I wasn't popular at all. I was bullied quite a lot. But I can't wait to see the film. I haven't yet. But that's Power Rangers. I love Power Rangers. I've looked very much forward to the movie when I get a chance to see it. So this question from the patrons comes from Joel Jennings, who says, they say, please read in a posh voice. Dearest Eddache, I hope you find this question well for you today is, which videos the hardest you've made research-wise? Thank you for your time. Love to the wife and kids, Joel. P.S. Piss fart. So, That is a question about the hardest video to research. That would have to be that would probably have to be Power Rangers. Not Power Rangers. I've still got Power Rangers on my mind. I've never done Power Rangers. Captain Planet. Captain Planet was a huge ordeal to go into. That required so much research. So it's not just the fact that I had to watch, what was it, 113 episodes? Like a stupid amount of episodes. They're all like 20 minutes, half an hour long. So they took such like a long time to read. Oh, yes. Can we turn on slow-mo mode? Can the mods do that? Let me know if you can't do that, mods. DM me on Discord if you can't do that, and I'll find a way to turn that on for you. I'm keeping an eye out for Wildin or Joel in the chat to let me know. Oh, there you go. You've asked me to do it. Oh, you've asked me to do it. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, yeah, there we go. I didn't fucking mean to click on that. This thing's so trigger happy. Hang on. Stop the chat there. Come here, you, Joel. Come here, Joel. No, I don't want to put Joel on a timeout. I have to remove Joel as a mod, I think, and then re-add Joel as a mod, but this time as a managing mod. Right. Joel, try that now. See if you can do that. Anyway, back to the question. So, it was a really hard video to research for because it's not just I had to watch a lot of episodes, which were all really long. So collectively, I think I watched it comes about 24 hours worth of constant Captain Planet episodes. And not all of them were like readily available. I had to like really dig through like some like Vimeo and Dailymotion sites to find the missing episodes, and some of them were like dog shit quality, but like, you know, the point was I wanted to see every single episode. But then having to find like trying to follow the trail of what happened next, right? So I had to dig into all these different areas like overpopulation, dig into plastics and Donald Trump and stuff like that. There was a lot of material that was just really hard to like condense and funnel down into a video. The Turtles video as well was another piece. Although that one had a more clearer structure because I'm just sort of I'm doing like a timeline basically. That required me digging through like newspapers and finding a bunch of articles to like try to like pull together citations and like the fact I'm digging through like newspapers from like the 80s and the 90s just to find out if someone used a sword at some point. That was silly, but I actually really enjoyed it. It was really dorky, but like I really had fun to like it was just investigative, you know? It was like being a detective. Where I was digging through all this information to try to find the truth and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really cool. I guess in a similar vein, like the Oscars video, you know, that was like I had to wrap my head around all the overly complicated rules to then try and explain them all in a way that the version of me before having done all that research would understand. So an idiot, basically. Layman's terms, I guess, is the idea. So the idea was that I could say, yeah, anyone could understand this. That's what I hoped, at least. I still think I bombarded you with a bit too much information, but either way, thank you very much, Joel. That was the question. Did that work, Joel? Did the slow-mo thing work? Hang on, let me check my DMs here, Joel. You can't do it. Okay, how do I do it? Is it just /slow-mo? You have to edit the stream itself to be slow-mo. God. Alright, stop. I got so many pop-ups on the screen. Customization, live chat, slow-mo. There we go, slow-mo. Safe. All right, how does that work? I'll be safe from the intensity. Okay, there we go. We've slowed it down. Has that slowed it down? I think that slowed it down. Is that okay? It's on. All right, we're there. All right, so now we've done that. Now everyone has slowed down. You were going too fast, and now you must slow. Right Away Productions. Eddie, are you going to be at MCM with Tom or perhaps yourself? I'll definitely come see you if I'm in town. Yes, I am. I am going to MCM in London in May. I have paid for the table, so I bloody well hope I'm there. We will have. I can't find the posters, but like we will have merch. And I don't know if I've ever. This has only been. If you've been to the last year's convention, you might recognize this merch. But either way, this merch hasn't been available anywhere else. I should get on that. I really should. I should get on to like actually expanding my merch stuff because I really don't. But I mean, like, first of all, okay, these are postcard forms, but they also come in A4s, right? So there's an Eddache one, classic. You can also see it behind my head. We've got Radical to the Max. These are just postcards, but as I said, I've also got like larger versions of them too. What else we got? What Happened to Spoof Movies? Really cool one representing the Naked Gun poster. This one's really cute. I love this one. It's got I've got opinions on the internet. I think that's really, really sweet. I love that one. Uh-oh, I'm overthinking cartoons. That's also available as a t-shirt. And also this like rad sort of like was it cryptic SCP creepypasta shit. Yeah, of the giraffe from Monster Inc. So that's really cool. I love these. So I will be selling those. I will have as I said, posters, postcards, and t-shirts and whatever else I can scramble together in time because oh my god, time keeps on happening. It just doesn't stop happening. I'm gonna just jump ahead and get this question out the way. What happened to the Huggy Wuggy cosplay? I get asked this quite a lot. It's in my garage. He lives in my garage now. I really should have him like facing the door, so anytime I open it, I just shit myself every time. Or scare potential burglars. There we go. There we go. Who needs like alarms and systems and stuff? I could just have a Huggy Wuggy just stare at you if you open the door. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Hurricane Harv, for your inadvertent suggestion there. Let's jump back over to the Patreon. So, Nathan Jowinati has asked, outside your YouTube channel and the Tom Scar and Friends channels, do you have any other projects that you normally couldn't or wouldn't promote on these platforms? So the thing is like, too often, these projects are usually very all-consuming. All my free time, that I get is like taken up with me basically having to obsess over one particular subject for a whole month, and as a result, like I generally don't have time like on the side for basically passion projects. There's one ongoing passion project, and I'm going to be sparse with the details, but basically I'm in collaboration with a couple of artists. And we are making a graphic novel. I'm not going to tell you any more details. If you're a $10 patron, you will see some posts on this subject. But as this isn't an announcement because we are far away from there being any sense of a product. But it is something we are ongoing making. So that's been my way of I guess, exercising some additional creative freedom and expression, right? Is to just have this big ongoing project that can just happen over there while I'm making Eddache videos and stuff. So, you know, that's the thing. It's not Cat Dog Poop the novel. I did debate whether I could maybe turn some Eddache, like, there are too many books in the world. But I did wonder if I could maybe turn something like spoof movies, like, or other, like, videos I've made into a book. I don't know. I don't know if that's really a thing. Video essays becoming book essays? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'd have to make more. I'd have to write a lot more book for it to be a book. But yeah, that's something I've been debating, but that's another thing on top of the pile of things that I'd love to do and just don't have time for, don't make time for, and stuff like that. So, all right, so let's jump back into the chat. So, all right, let's get this little one out of the way. How's Tomee Bear? All right, D-Mask. So Tomee Bear's fine. He lives in my son's bed, and we say we do a whole little routine where we say goodnight to every teddy that Rick has in his bed. He has 10 in his bed. There's like barely any room for him, but he keeps adding more. So Tomee is one of the mainstays, and we say goodnight to him every night. And yeah, so that's where he is. He just lives. He's just happily he's in my son's bed, and he's there every night. So that's where he is. I think it's a nice new life for Tomee. I think just to be a treasured childhood toy for Rick. So yeah, that's where he is. All right. What's this one? Otis Notibris says opinions on Gorillaz. I think as monkeys go, I'm quite partial to the chimp personally, but I'm just being a silly goof, aren't I? I'm being a silly goof. You mean the band? All right. Controversial opinion. I don't like the Gorillaz. I have always been incredibly mixed about the Gorillaz. I can really only on my hand on heart say I like one song ever by the Gorillaz, and it's a remix, so it's not even an official release. And that's 192000. The Wild Child remix, I think it's called. That's the only one I like. Every other Gorillaz song I really just don't like. It's just not my thing. However, I've heard some snippets of their latest album, the kind of synthwave infused one. I'm like, all right, I think this one might be good. So, I mean, like, I'm not taking that away from anyone else. You like Gorillaz, but, like, yeah, I don't, personally. And so, if that's what, but I might check out the new album, because it's more my vibe. I think that was just the thing before. It wasn't my vibe before. Now it might be. So, yeah. What else have we got in here? What's your Smash main? It's different. In most games, there is, but I mean, I presume you obviously mean Ultimate. So you may barely see them here. But this is my, when you do the team attack, this is my 5. So it's Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, Banjo-Kazooie, Snake, and Kirby. My main is Ganondorf / Donkey Kong. It depends on my mood. So yeah, I know, low tier. I'm not gonna make it to Evo. I accept this, but they are just the ones I have fun with playing. And I think because they aren't often picked, I can beat people because they are trained on the characters that are actually good. So I just like surprise them with a character they're not used to training against. So, all right. So I'm going to jump back to the Patreon. Now, 2 people have asked a very similar question, so I'm going to answer them both together. So Setsune Wave says, before you became Mr. Video Essay, first name Midio, later known as Jumpman, your channel seemed to be primarily focused on short-form animations and skits, a big emphasis on absurdity, which, if any of those, are still some of your favorites. I still hold stuff like shark movies. I mean, there's the shark. He's right here. He's right next to me. I still hold shark movies, Crow Revolution, Top 10 Bad. Like, these are like some big mainstays. Well, they were big mainstays on my channel for a really long time, and I love them. Every now and again I will go and revisit the Top 10 Bad episodes, and it just because it is so absurd, I forget the jokes and then remember them while I'm watching them. So I get a second wave giggle out of it. So I remember those very fondly. They make me think of sort of, I guess it's just another phase of my life, It's that kind of like 2010s period of my life, right? Until before the video essay took over. Slurpy. obviously. And so the second question that I had was from Bilky Sam. I know you Bilky lot are out there. There's some meme going on about Bilk, and I don't understand. I am 40 years old. I can't keep up with every meme. Bilky Sam says, "What's your favorite video you've ever made?" So combining these two questions together, it's Really Big Cat the movie. For yet another April Fools, I told you I like April Fools. For yet another April Fools, I made a spoof movie where, like, if you saw the tryhards where I green screened myself into an old film, it was that. I did that. There was a black and white silent movie, which was perfect because I could just redub every character. I wouldn't have to worry about Foley or well, I had to do all the sound effects and everything. But like, I didn't have to worry about any awkward cuts with the audio because it was all silent, right? And then I could reorder the scenes and kind of Kung Pao style. I was majorly influenced by Kung Pao. I would just insert myself into the film as replacing one of the main characters, and just tell this really absurd story about a big cat. It's called The Lost World. It's an Arthur Conan Doyle story. It's basically what formed the second Jurassic Park movie. It's actually something of like, I think like a historical important film, because it's one of the earliest instances of like live action animatronic, like claymation type stuff, right? Sort of like King Kong and that kind of thing. So and so it's just like very important film that I made like fart jokes and and there was just a big cat. Yeah, I love it. It's so silly. I don't think many people care for it, but I really do. So like that was just my love of spoof movies manifesting very early on, well before I made my video dedicated on the subject. So I would love to do more with that. I was gonna follow up that video with Really Big Christmas, and it was just gonna be a Christmas video. It'd be the same film, but they're wearing Santa hats, and it's just gonna be a very short thing with like using scenes I didn't use from the original film. Yeah, I didn't do that. But yeah. So let's return to the chat. So I saw this question. Oh, it's cropped off at the bottom, but I will help you out. It said, "Hey Eddie, really big fan of your work. This is from Meaty Man Studios. Thank you very much. I was checking your Twitter recently and saw you posted about an old Eddsworld DVD. I'm curious, when did you buy it, and does it still work?" So I would have bought this in 2009. So there was a webcomic convention called the UK Web and Comics with an X thing, also known as just The Thing. This was like a tiny little convention that was held in Mile End, and I was there from its like inception because I saw some other webcomics that I followed were going, and so I wanted to go along, and then I realized that like it's actually because it's so small, it wouldn't be too much money to like get my own table, and I would like print on photocopier and staple everything myself, these comic books that I made and stuff like that. And I was like so I'd go every year, and then eventually Ed reached out to me and saying like, shall I go one year? And I was like, yes, you should definitely come. And so he ran a table the subsequent years. So every year we would both be tabling together, not the same table, but we'd be like having our own tables at this convention. There was one year where we shared a table. It was a half kind of Cake Bomb Eddsworld table and a half me table. And then there was one year where we were just basically side by side, and it was that year where they printed DVDs. So that would be 2009. So basically, yeah, I'd known Ed for a while. We hang out, we chat and stuff. He made DVDs. I bought it. Here it is. And like, yeah, that's just been sitting in my DVD collection for like this entire time, right? And then I saw somebody had made like an Eddsworld Iceberg. And I was on it, like, third tier down. I'm, like, below the surface. Like, all right, I'm not a main character, but I thought I'd be a little less obscure than, like, below the surface. I'm fucking drowning here. But I saw my name on an iceberg. And on it, I also saw the Eddsworld DVD, and it was, like, marked as lost media. I'm like, it's there. It's there on my shelf. So, but, like, looking into it, it looks like everything from the DVD has gone public anyway. I can hand on heart say that there's nothing on this disc that you can't already see online. It does still work. It's just a DVD-R. It's got a little hand-signed little Ed Doodle on it that he did there in person. Yeah, it's just a cute little memento I have. So in terms of, like, yeah, I've had a lot of people really, like, getting quite nasty about releasing the ISO for the disc. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, the guys running Eddsworld now, you know, they have their own business thing going on. I'm not going to be a dickhead and start releasing their, the material that they own and run. I'm not going to release that for free. You know, that's not a cool move on my part. So, nah. You have everything you need from it. There's nothing more to gain. So, that's that whole business. So, now I keep seeing somebody who keeps asking me about Radiohead. I think they've even been told off for spamming. I'm trying to scroll up and find where this. There it is. What's your opinion on the musical stylings of the band Radiohead? So, P.S. I'll smash. I'm sorry, Skinny Nugget Smith. I don't care for Radiohead. That's another one of those bands I just don't care about. Sorry. Just gonna snipe that question out. So, yeah. So yeah, and let's not spam too much. Joel, let me know if you're doing okay there, bud. I still can't do it. You're gonna have to. Oh wait, no, sorry. You're still talking about the. You're still talking about the thing. You're still talking about the slow mo that I've already turned on. So we are all good. What's happening over here? Okay, cool. All right, yeah, we're all good. So back to the Patreon question, which was, let me scroll up a little bit here. So, what are your personal thoughts on the upcoming movies of this year? So I had to look up what films are coming out this year because I can't remember anything. I'm a dumb baby. But Spider-Verse, hell yeah, Spider-Verse. That I think is probably number one on my most looking forward to film. I'm going to probably be there day dot. Marvels looks really cool. Guardians looks really cool. The new Turtles movie looks rad. So I think that's this year. So yeah, yes to all this stuff. As for much else, I'm not sure. I think the Barbie movie looks really weird. That could be fun. Elemental, maybe that could be maybe Rick's second film that he goes to the cinema for. Who knows? Yeah, so I don't know much else. But yeah, a fair whack of films. Yeah, but Spider-Verse, absolutely Spider-Verse. All right, so we're back into the chatteroo. So the full version of Touchin On My, from Nick Wilbur. No, there won't be a full version. I have tried. I'm gonna burp. I have tried over and over to try to make a full version of Touchin On My, and it's not good. It's not good. I can't sing. I'm not a singer. I'd love to sing. I'd love to take singing lessons and actually learn to sing and stuff. And I've tried using voice filters and auto-tunes and stuff like that. And I'm still just kind of a dummy when it comes to this sort of stuff. So, and I don't really. I would love to have more time to experiment with music in general. I love making music. I never get a chance to, but I loved tinkering around with music and stuff like that. And I'm hoping for maybe an upcoming video this year. I could dabble a little bit more with making music as part of the video. So that's kind of my workaround on that. But as for the Touchin On My cover, I'm still not that strong a singer. I might dig out what I did do and maybe share that on Patreon or something like that with like a massive apology attached to it. But Yeah, so like, yeah, it's like one of those sort of things where in the moment you're like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that sounds all right. And then you don't listen to it and you come back to it the next day and you're like, oh my God, what the flippity flip was I thinking? That was bad. So I'm not a strong enough singer to do it justice, basically. It worked really well for just that chorus, but for the whole wraparound, the lyrics and crescendo and all this stuff, I'm just I'm not all that good at that kind of stuff. The Yellow Shy Guy says, in one of your recent videos, you brought up Ghostwatch. Would you ever consider doing a full video about it? Probably not. I think, in fairness, there's a lot of subjects that, like, I think have just been done. Like, for example, I recently watched Song of the South, right? And I have opinions, and there's a lot of interesting, circumstances around it. It's a Disney film that you can't watch on Disney Plus because, oops, touchy subject. If you don't know, maybe look it up. But it's very dodgy, and I thought maybe I could still do a delicate video that talks about it and stuff. But I think that's been done. I think that's the thing. Like, usually when I make a video on YouTube, one of the first things I do is I would search on YouTube who else has covered this subject before, right? Like cat dog pooping, right? That was one I looked up and I thought, okay, who has covered this video before? Somebody must have. And I saw that, like, yeah, somebody had done a video that was more of a scientific analysis on pooping, and there was one that was like, I think it didn't really come to any sort of satisfying conclusion. So, and then I found that, yeah, Nickelodeon themselves had done a cat dog poop video, and even they don't answer the question. So I thought, all right, no one has actually answered it. I'm going to do it. And so, yeah, so I think, like, Ghostwatch will be something that people will have definitely have covered extensively. I think. I haven't searched for it, but I just don't know if there's much I can really add to the conversation. Is kind of the thing sometimes. Either I have to come at it with a fresh perspective, or it's part of a bigger video, right? And in a manner, I did that. So, unfortunately, no, I probably won't be doing anything for Ghostwatch. But thank you for your question, Yellow Shy Guy. All right, back to the patrons. So, and again, if I'm back and forth in questions from whichever question I happen to see in the chat, and also people who are leaving me questions on my Patreon. So, if you are a patron, jump over there, leave a question on the most recent post, and I will back and forth answering these questions. So, Music and Techo 4 says, what are your personal thoughts? Oh, no, I did that one. I did that one. I'm going to refresh the page. Oh, well then. Something has just happened. You are not meant to be here, sir. You're going to have to go. So, do excuse me one moment, please.
They are great.
All right, we're back. Alrighty, so all right, so let's get back to that post for questions from patrons. So, oh god, there's a lot more. God damn, there's a lot of questions. Oh my god, so many more have fallen into this. All right, I'll try my best to get through them. I'm probably only going to be live for like maybe another half hour. So I'll do my best to get through all your questions here. So, John Jones asks, you've been given the power to stop any piece of media from ever being remade or reimagined. What do you choose? Oh, God. If I had the power to stop a film being remade or reimagined, I mean, I suppose something like Roger Rabbit is so much of, like, it captured a moment And the sheer scale of the hybrid animation would be it was just so astonishingly impressive for its time. If it was to be made now, the technology is there that would make that whole process so much easier, and I think in turn that loses a chunk of that magic, right? Because computer graphics exist to just go ahead and put a character on a screen, and it's not there's I mean, yes, it's obviously still an artistic challenge in that front and stuff like that, but it's not the humongous monumentous task that it was to get these characters to coexist together. Every frame was hand drawn, hand painted, hand scanned, and composited into the film. That process is just absurdly expensive, and it wouldn't be done now. It just doesn't make financial sense on such a risky idea to make that. So, if they tried to make Roger Rabbit again, they would just use computer graphics because, that technology exists. Why wouldn't you do that? But that in turn would lose the magic that made the first one so special. The kind of the amount of effort it took to make that happen, and in turn, like the characters to sort of mix together and stuff. The fact that this still is the only time Donald Duck and Daffy Duck have ever been on the screen at the same time with one another. Like this stuff it's special because it only happened once, and I think to make Roger Rabbit again in any capacity would lose the spark that made that first one so special. So I would prefer that they don't. But that's my thought. That's my thought on a film that shouldn't be remade. I have no indication if they even are trying. I did see somebody point out that, like, yes, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the movie, is the spiritual successor to Roger Rabbit. I'm fine with this. That's an entirely acceptable spiritual sequel. I'm fine with this. I've seen the film. It's really fucking weird. I think I love it. That's my opinion on the Rescue Rangers. So, let's see. So, let's scroll up and see another question from one of you people who have asked me questions. So, Alexander Hill, would you consider other animation movie reviewers competition for, and then for what? Competition for my love? Okay, but I think the broader question, and of other animation movie reviewers, I don't consider anyone competition. That's not a mindset that I have. There's a bunch that I follow, and I know there's a bunch that follow me. That's all lovely. I don't see it as competition. Like, it's not trying to one up one another or anything like that. It's I guess, if anything, colleagues. I guess, because we're all kind of in the same ship with YouTube videos and stuff. We have the same struggles of, like, copyright strikes and monetization and a video doing well and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really have a sense of, like, I don't know. I think to consider anyone competition would be mixing some, I don't know, an insecurity there or some resentment or something like that. And it's just not. I'm too old for this shit. Like, nah, I'm not. That's not my thing. There's a picture I remember seeing. Unfortunately, I don't know the artist, but it's like somebody brings a cake to a party and they see a cake on the tables already there, and they're like, "Oh man, that's such a better cake right there." My cake, it's nothing compared to that cake. And then it cuts to somebody else walking up to that table, being like, "Oh boy, 2 cakes." So that's kind of my whole mentality towards it. It's like, instead of seeing everything as just being a challenge or a threat, it's just extra stuff for people. People love stuff. I think just focus on making your stuff good that you're proud of, and don't worry about what other people or other channels think or are. Don't see them as a threat. It's fine. Am I live, or is this recording? I am live. Paragama. I am live. So that answers that question. Tick. All right, back to the Patreon page. So what do we got? I'm gonna skip that question, music and text, as that one's a bit too spicy, I think, or a bit too heavy for this particular stream. So, if I could remake one movie, which one would I do, and what would I do differently from Drifter Wolf? So we're doing an opposite of the other question. Instead of stopping a film being made, I am full steam ahead making this particular film. Right. If I could remake a film, I think something like something like The Black Cauldron, a film that suffered and struggled. I think something like that could get like a second shot at it. I don't understand why there's this need for I do understand it's money, but I don't understand artistically what the need is to remake something like Little Mermaid and stuff like that when we already have a good version of that exists, right? So I would rather that they spend the effort making a bad movie, or at least ways a movie that did badly, and try that again, right? I think that will give it a better shot. So maybe Treasure Planet, but I think maybe part of the charm of Treasure Planet was the animation style. And also, I think on that regard, I would say I'd rather give the creators of Treasure Planet a chance to make the sequels that they were going to make for Treasure Planet. It was meant to be a trilogy or something like that, right? And the first one tanked so badly. All those plans died with it. So so I guess ideally a bad film. Let's see. I'm trying to figure. I like watching bad films. It's punishing sometimes when I did stuff for like spoof movies, where I watched 60, 70 odd spoof movies, and a lot of them were really, really bad. But I still see value. I've never walked out of a cinema, for example, because I still see value in a bad film. Because you can, particularly if you're creative, if you're a writer or something like that, you can still see inspiration in the bad, right? Where you could see what they did wrong and learn from it, or in turn it could just inspire you because people aren't naturally inclined to watch something that is notoriously meant to be bad. So you get in there with like, oh, and this film inspired this idea because it was so bad, and so I was desperate to make it more like this. It's stuff like that. I think there's value in bad stuff. And I guess that's more in the vein of like coming out of your comfort zone. I often get asked about like how you come up with ideas and stuff like that, inspiration and stuff. And I think sometimes, I guess if you're feeling particularly stagnant, it's good to sort of start watching bad films and or films you would never normally watch, right? You're getting out of your comfort zone, and in doing so, you're sort of taking in more influence and inspiration. I'm not a big fan of horror films, but if I feel uninspired, if I'm feeling low, then maybe I would put one on because I would then start getting ideas that I wouldn't have had normally because I'm watching different things. Or reading different books or whatever. So anyway, that's a long-winded answer to that particular question. All right, so what's this one? Mini Miko. Now I am an Amiibo collector myself. So I thought I'd ask, how many ones do you have, and which one do you have is the rarest? I don't think I have anything that's rare. Let's see. I know that like Rosalina is pretty hard to get hold of. I've seen that be available online for like, not mad money, because even a rare Amiibo is still at most like 50 quid. So it's not like it's not like a rare coin or a rare stamp or anything like that. But I think she's probably one of the rarest I've got. Fortunately, I just made it a rule to myself that I would never spend more than £15 on any one Amiibo. some of these are gifts. Some of these are gifts from other people, and however much they spent, that's on them. But I will personally never spend more than 15 quid. So I've never gone nuts with like splashing out on a super rare amiibo or anything like that. So yeah, good luck with your collection. P.S. Rush E opinion. It's fine. It's a song. It exists. How many do I have though? I don't know. I think I have about 60. I think. I don't know. I have a lot. I have a lot of them, as you can see. So, but I don't quite know how many I have. So, let's go back to the Patreon chatteroo. Beamer Tectonic says, which would you pick? Every video you make is guaranteed to get lots of views, but you still have to work to make money off it, regardless. Or vice versa, guaranteed money, maybe not a lot, but enough, but you still have to work to get views. I think, I mean, logically speaking, there's more value in how much money it gets rather than how much views it gets. But I have a problem with validation, and so I constantly crave attention and views, and so I will I will choose views. I will choose a video that gets lots of views regardless. I'm happy to work. I like working. I mean, it's also another problem I have, but I like working. I find researching and the creativity of making a video, I love that stuff. And so if it was like a guarantee that it always got this many views, that would be lovely. That would be so much a relief on me. But I mean, likewise, there is also, in fairness, there is a relief in money. Like, say, you know, I don't have that many patrons, but you know, if I had, say, you know, the sort of size and number of patrons, that meant that I could basically live exclusively off the money that Patreon makes. That would be a wonderfully comfortable position to be in, because therefore I wouldn't have to worry so much about the quality of the video. You know, it would just be like, I know that there's a fervent enough fan base that, regardless of whatever I make, if it did earn this kind of safety blanket of money, you know, I know that every bill will be paid. I know that I can put food on the table still and stuff like that. You know, if there was that security, if in just, say, for example, Patreon money alone, that would be lovely. That would be such a relief of that pressure. But likewise, I would still want to work. I would still want to deliver good stuff. I don't want to, like, even if I had the security that I was getting enough money for every video that I made, that I didn't really have to put that much effort in, I would still very much want to put that much effort in. I think some of the best ideas I've had to do because it is absurd. It is a silly amount of work. You know, I watch every episode of Cat Dog. I watch every episode of Goof Troop. I watched every episode of Captain Planet. You know, I think there's a joy in that. You know, I see plenty of other channels that do the similar sort of thing of being like, I'm going to answer a question about this thing, but I'm only going to watch the first 3 episodes of the show. And it's like, come on, that's just lazy. You got to watch everything. Watch it all. Then you have like an irrefutable answer, you know? So I can hand on heart, like, say, I know how Cat Dog poops. Or at least I have a better knowledge than most people, because I watched every single episode. I was looking for every instance of someone farting, pooping, toilets, piss. You know, I looked for it all, and I like doing that. I think there's the fun in the novelty of it, right? So yeah, I think it's fun. I think, if anything, I think that's maybe part of the charm of what I do, is the fact that I do these kind of maddening deep dives into absurd subjects, stuff like that. All right, so what else have we got? So I did see a question here. So Super CJM, are there any video ideas you've had to scrap, and why? Yes, there has been. I believe there's been 3. There's been 3 videos I've had to scrap, and that's not including the video I was going to do this month. That video which was going to be about American Pie, I'm going to now just shove to another month. You know, there'll be time. I'll come back to that. But I believe there's been 3 ideas that I've had to scrap. And that was, one of them was I was reached out by a sponsor, and they were a Simpsons themed sponsor. I'm not going to specify who or what. It wasn't official Simpsons. It wasn't Fox. It was somebody making a Simpsons adjacent thing, and they wanted me to make a video that they would pay to sponsor, but I had to make the video subject about The Simpsons. And given that I'd just done, I'd done Who Shot Mr. Burns and stuff like that, I thought, okay, sure, yeah, I can do that. I can make a video about The Simpsons. Yes, that's fine. So I did a lot of work on. The premise was The Simpsons we never got. So, in season 1 of The Simpsons, there was a lot of ideas they had for the show and for the characters that just never happened. And, the show's flowed and continued into season 300 and whatever it's up to now. And all the, so many ideas are like completely long gone. There's stuff like, Homer is secretly Krusty, and, Marge is secretly a rabbit. I'm not joking. That was a thing. Marge is secretly a rabbit. That was going to be a whole plot reveal at some point. And so, but those ideas, the ideas that never manifested themselves into the show, do exist in a form, and it's called The Simpsons arcade game. So, season 1 to season 2, the gap in between, Konami made an arcade game for The Simpsons. And it's I love this game. It's one of my favorite games. But it includes references to the stuff that never made it into The Simpsons, because they were working off the same, material that they had made for season 1, including those theories that, they just bailed on, right? So, for example, if Marge gets electrocuted, the other cartoon characters, you see their skeleton, right? But Marge's one includes bunny ears in her hair. So it was just going to be like a dive into that, right? I was going to look at the arcade game into detail and compare it to the stuff they had to scrap for, season 1 into season 2 and on, and just sort of highlight, this is the version of The Simpsons we never got. This is an alternate universe Simpsons, right? But then the sponsor just ghosted me. I started work on the video. I sent it off to them, and I was fully prepared. I'd already sort of semi-begun work on it, and they just ghosted me. They just disappeared. So I thought, well, fuck it. And so I scrapped it. And I thought I would just instead go for a different video. I think that became the Batman video. I think I did in the end. So then the second scrap video was God, how do I say this tactfully? Because it becomes very apparent why I didn't do it. All right, so Bugs Bunny, okay? He often to fool his rivals, say Yosemite Sam or Elmer Fudd, he will often dress up as a woman. And I was going to do a video that was going to deep dive on, hey, let's rank the success rate of certain outfits. Maybe even like come up with some overall like, here is the best costume. And you know what? The more I thought about making a video that's about a male character dressing up as a female character to fool male characters, maybe I should not do that. In fact, you know what? Maybe I should not do that video. I think that video would, in fact, be an awful idea. So, yeah, no, I did not do that. It did not occur. That angle did not occur to me until I was like begun scripting it, and I'm like, oh no, this I could see, right-wing fuckhead channels using this as citations for their own awful agendas, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give them that one. Absolutely not. So no, that is a scrap video. And I don't imagine that will ever come back. The first scrap video was about Jackie Chan. I was going to make a video about Jackie Chan. I was going to break down one particular fight scene and just about his process and stuff. And I watched a ton of Jackie Chan films. I love Jackie Chan movies. But then the more I read upon the actual man himself, and I'm like, oh, you're not cool. Oh, you're not cool, actually. You have really shit opinions. Ah, oh, damn it. So I thought, I can't make a video. I couldn't justify making a video about that. That's like glorifying basically not all that great a person. Not the worst person, but not a great person. So my idea with that is instead I'm going to just at some point make a video that talks about, say, an action scene or something. But because I've already done a ton of work on Jackie Chan material, I know that I can just be like, for example, in this scene, it's just like this scene in Jackie Chan. So now it's not about him, right? I'm just talking about his material, not about the man. I think that's a workaround. That's my idea, at least. So, all right, we are fast running out of time. We have already clocked over to 7 o'clock. So let's see if we can do a bunch more questions before we are out of that time. So let me just skim through. I think we're getting a lot of very silly questions over on the Patreon, so let me skip through these real quick. Jace asks, would I try Bilk, yay or nay? No. Joel, can we have slow-mo, please? Yes. Beamer, tell us about MCM. What are your plans? I think I just covered that with the merch. Are there any bits you're dreading? Waking up early and traveling really far. Patty Fop asks, do I like Tally Hall? I don't know what that is. Zayden asks, favorite fish? I don't like seafood, so I can't make an eating fish joke. So I'm going to go with shark. Useless Jack, one of the biggest impacts you've had on my personal life is the introduction of God of your own universe. That's something I still try and practice more to this day. I'd like to know how that's going for you, and if you still practice Go You, and how it's affected your achievements so far. So I think this is in reference to when I sort of I should get rid of Super CGM's question here. I think that's in reference to when I sort of expressing my fear of death. And I was trying to look more into sort of living every day kind of thing. And to an extent, no, I kind of like, I began to bury myself in work, which is not healthy. I began to bury myself in work, and so I kind of let my own personal health and personal needs and wants, I just kind of put them all to one side because they were inconvenient to work. So I failed to do that. But then, you know what? There's something about having a kid that really forces you to live days because, like I said about we had this Easter break off school, and I could have tried to find ways to work in between, right? I could have, while I get him set up on a game, just go play. I'm gonna just be over here on my computer, and I could have done that for the entire time he was off. But then I found it was just better to like to be with him, to play with him, to he's not gonna get this childhood again. So I gotta be there for him, and I think that in of its way is fulfilling the living every day kind of mantra. So yeah, I don't want to say the answer to that question is have a kid, but I guess it's more like just have something you can't possibly ignore, that pulls you out of whatever like trench you've gone into. My one is work, and that will force you to live a day. I think that's fine. If you can every other day live that day to its fullest, I think that's worthwhile. The worst movie I've ever seen, to give a quick answer, probably going to say the 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it. Something like that. Really, really just insidiously bad film. Top 3 Valve games, Portal 1, Portal 2, and Portal 3. Is the book in any way connected to your videos book? Oh, the comic book. No, it's completely disconnected from the original story. I tutor here in Indonesia. How does it make you feel when I show your students your videos for listening segments and link them for homework? Oh my god! I've had people use my work as like university stuff, and I'm like, why? Oh my god! I'm such an idiot. The thing is, I try to like source every citation. I try to be as thorough and deep. And if something is wrong and incorrect, I don't just I will change the script accordingly. I try my absolute best to be as faithful and accurate as possible because I think that's so important. So hell yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I had no idea. Thank you so much. Boards of Canada, Brian Eno. Don't like. Not a fan. And how do I meet Tom and Elliot? Okay, so that's going to wrap up the Patreon questions. I'm sorry if there's any more, but I'm going to have to wrap that up, and then I'll take a couple more questions from the chat, and then we're going to call it a night. So, Tom and Elliot. Tom, I knew vaguely online. I knew him through Ed. There was the infamous occasion where when I was at the webcomics thing convention that I mentioned before, Tom came up to my table. He recorded a voice for my cartoon, and then later said it was shit. And then he recorded me giving him a pitch, and he still has that video, but he has no means to play it, which I'm very grateful for because it would be unbearably cringe. But he has that on me. He has that blackmail on me. Yeah, so I kind of met him then, and then just through recurring stuff like through knowing Ed and Ed sharing Tom's work, through regularly meeting up at this comics thing, at Newgrounds meetups and stuff like that. I would just meet Tom there and we'll chat. It would be very small talk and stuff. But it's recurring nature sort of eventually built up to hanging out with him, going to the pub with him, and then him calling me up one day saying like, hey Ed, would you like to come over and write scripts with me? And that became Holy Shit Cats 2, the Guitar Warfare, Stabbed, and into early Eddsworld stuff, Fun Dead, Salunatics, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was just through hanging out with him a lot. And then Elliot, I feel like I probably met Elliot through house parties and stuff, but I think I formally got to know Elliot more just regularly seeing Tom. By that point, Elliot would have transitioned to being Tom's in-house editor, and so yeah, I would just see him regularly and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically how I met the boys. Yeah. It wasn't so much like a grand encounter that was like, you are the one, you're the one I'm going to spend most of my career with. No, it just sort of happened naturally. I've always said to you can't really force these things to happen. They just have to evolve. I've never gone to conventions and meetups and stuff like that for the purpose of making contacts. I've never gone out handing out business cards and stuff like that. I just chat to people and hang out and stuff, and relationships evolve naturally. And if sometimes nothing happens, but that's okay because you got a friend. Sometimes something happens, and both are really cool outcomes to that. So, all right, we are going to now do the last few chat screen. You guys, the ones who are watching right now, I'm gonna look at the chat and see if there are any other questions that I can answer right now, because I need to wrap stuff up pronto. So let's see. Opinions on the Loud House. Unfortunately, I've never seen it. It's probably all right. It's just it came out after I was too old to see it, I guess. I mean, there's nothing stopping me seeing it, but I wasn't a kid. I didn't grow up with the Loud House. I grew up with Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, the Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, Rugrats, and Turtles and stuff like that. So Loud House came out like well after that time. So yeah. Poop or fart joke? I like a fart joke. I think poop jokes can be a bit ick. But a fart joke, they're always funny. What else we got? What do I think of Super Mario 64? Yeah, it's fine. It's very hard to go back to. I remember playing it in a Toys R Us, and yeah, I've never beaten it, but like, yeah, it's fine. It's Mario 64. Your favorite tree? Christmas tree. Whatever. Thoughts on Thomas the Tank Engine? Yeah, that was a childhood favorite of mine. When I was very young, I wasn't very verbal. I got to like the age of 5, and I still wasn't talking a lot. I mean, you know, Rick is 5, and he talked a lot. I was not at the stage that he is now. So I had to go to a school that had a dedicated speech department to sort of help me develop my speech and stuff like that. And throughout this time, I was a big fan of Thomas the Tank Engine. I had a bunch of the VHS tapes, and I was a big fan of them. And there was one class we did where we were asked to paint, to paint basically whatever we want. And so most kids, when they paint a train, they will paint them front on or side on. I painted mine. I did Henry, Gordon, and James. I painted them 3 as if you were stood on the bridge looking down at them. I did a perspective. And that signaled something to my teachers that were like, hey, maybe this kid has potential or something. I don't fucking know. But this impressed them enough to frame that picture on their wall for about 12 years. It is unfortunately lost. That really sucks, but it is lost now. But they had framed it for so long, and I don't know, shortly after that, speech came naturally to me. I mean, look at me go. And I was then like accepted into the other classes, and I was able to catch up with my peers, and so therefore I was getting on with, you know, maths and geography and stuff like that. And so yeah, so Thomas got me there, I guess, because I just did. I showed, I guess, perspective. I showed being able to view things from an alternate perspective. Showed empathy, sympathy. I don't know, but they saw something in me that like meant that like, hey, this kid's gonna go far. And look at me now. I'm a YouTuber. Oh boy. All right. So, can we add this lost image to the Eddache Iceberg? Is there an Eddache Iceberg? I would love to see an Eddache Iceberg. I'd be thrilled to see an Eddache Iceberg. What lost image? What lost? Oh, you're talking about the Thomas one. Yeah, you can do that. It's not really an Eddache. It's just an Eddie Bowley thing, really. It's not so much an Eddache. What's this? What's that speck on the screen? What's that? What's that white speck on the screen? You see that? Where did that get there? Is there some shit on the mic or something? Okay. Anyway. Do I play Grandparadox with friends and family? So that's this game right here, the game I made for Tryhards. No, it has remained boxed since that episode of Tryhards. I would like to go back to. I've had people ask me, will I release the game? You know, the assets so people could just play at home and stuff like that. I want to revisit Grandparadox. I want to refine it. You know, make some changes to it so it is a better game before I do anything more with it. Because I still think it has potential. I still think it has potential to be like a good game. It's just maybe not quite yet, you know. So, puppies or dolphins? Puppies, I guess. It's not my cursor. It wasn't my cursor. Was it my cursor? Oh, it's gone. It wasn't my cursor, was it? What? But it was on the stream. What the fuck? What was that? It wasn't a cursor. It wasn't a cursor this whole time? But like, how did that get in the stream? I don't understand. So, what else we got here? Have I thought about going back to that list of ideas you had in the What Is Goofy video? So, you're talking about the jokey stuff like how to shoot Mr. Burns, the anatomy of a car from Cars, Speedy Gonzalez versus Roadrunner. I mean, that one in... maybe. I don't know. But the other ideas, they were all kind of purposely very silly ideas. I think the only one that I've really done since, I mean, How Does Cat Dog Poop was on there, and How Budget Cuts Led to Furries has also been kind of covered. So I think the rest of them were all very silly jokes. So I don't think there's much else in there. How many DVDs do you have in your collection throughout the years? Oh God, so many. VHSs, I'm looking up because they're on my shelf in front of me here, and I have a signed copy of South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. It's signed by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They were doing a signing at a Virgin Megastore for you older Brits, if you remember that shop. They were doing signings there, and they signed my copy. Hooray! But I got other South Park VHSs, Bottom, which is my favorite comedy of all time, and Jackie Chan. So that's my VHS collection up there. DVDs, I have like you can't really see them, but like I've got like a string of them up here, a lot more around here. I've got a kind of an overflow over here. Hundreds and hundreds. And like I've gotten rid of a lot, and the rest of them I've like compacted down into this big thick folder, which you may see, you can't see, because it's below what you can see. But a lot, a many lot. Let's see what signed. What the fuck? Yeah, it was signed. I got it signed by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Yeah, I have that. What else? Hola, Eddie. Aloha, Eddie, should I say. What's the most interesting object in your room? Oh, God, what have I got? What the hell? I mean, I guess there's the one-of-a-kind makeshift Eddache plush that never got made because that campaign bombed. Here's my YouTube award up there. The various prototypes of Muffin Time. My Daft Spunk helmet. What else have I got? I've got a signed copy of South Park movie. Yeah, I kind of surround myself with like a mix of like just cool things and nostalgic things. Because I guess a lot of what I do is nostalgia bait. So I like to surround myself with these things for inspiration and feel good vibes and stuff like that. So yeah. What? So I'm just skipping through these questions. I think I might have to take one more question. I'm going to give it a sec so people have a chance to sort of post it in here, because I know there have been people who've been posting the same question over and over and over again, desperately trying to get their one answered. So, Daft Spunk full release when? I did that. I already did that. If you have to be a patron to Tom's Gun Friends and or me. And in fact, no, I did release it. I released on Bandcamp. There's a full version. It's called French Robots. Full room tour for Patreon. Maybe. Maybe a shelf tour, maybe not a room tour. I do have a really cool floor, though, which you can't see. Have you ever thought about making a video going through the process of making your videos? I don't know if that would be necessarily interesting to general populace. Maybe that's a Patreon video rather than an Eddache dedicated video. Opinions on Rayman, he's fine. On opinion on Madness Combat, I don't think I have an opinion. Favorite cartoon. Favorite cartoon. It's too many to choose from. I think I have different stuff for different moods. You know, sometimes I love Steven Universe. Other times I love Bluey. There we go, Bluey. There we go. Somebody said Bluey. Bluey. That's my answer. Bluey. It's Bluey. That's my favorite cartoon right now. Which Bluey character is most like you? Bandit and Chili are disqualified. It's Bandit though. I'm Bandit. Well, I want to be Bandit. I guess. Probably Muffin. Probably the annoying one. Eddie. Yes. Correct. What would it take for you to shave your beard? Midlife crisis? I think this is a midlife crisis, actually. So, and if I get rid of it now, my wife will kill me and then divorce me. So it's a non-negotiable thing. Weirdest trivia you know. Oh, shit. There's that cursor again. Oh, it's in here. Oh, here you... Okay, so I've got a screen cap going on the comments, which is why it's in here. Oh, it was my cursor all along. Oh, I'm such a buffoon. So that's the trivia. It was my cursor. That's how it happened. Weirdest trivia. I don't know. I feel like I recycle trivia for Eddache videos. So I think the weirdest shit makes it into that. Like Vic and Bob being in Shrek, you know, stuff like that. Shave my beard on stream? No. I would be dead before I made it. All right. One more question, and then I'm gonna. I think I've already said how many times I'm gonna wrap it up, but I really am gonna make it a wrap up on one more question. What we got here? Not going to do that one. Not going to do that one. I don't have any opinions on horror mascots or Gumball. I guess favorite British actor. All right. So I really like Bill Nighy. I think he's always good in anything he does, even if he's in a bad film. He's always the good thing in it. I quite like Ewan McGregor, but then I found sometimes his performances can be really flat. I think in Pinocchio, his performance drags down everything else, really. But he seems quite charming. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can I say, like, Andrew Garfield? Because he's a Brit, isn't he? Tom Holland's a Brit, right? So does that count? Does that count? Probably not. Probably doesn't count. Yeah, sorry, that was an unsatisfying question. Okay, what video or project would you like to be remembered for? Oh, God, that's heavy. I don't know. I don't know. Video to be remembered for? Like... Okay, I guess... okay. It's not an answer. You want me to see stuff like spoof movies or Turtles or, you know, a video essay answer. And I don't know. I mean, maybe... I'm enormously proud of spoof movies and every video, honestly. I'm really, really proud of everything I've done. And I know some videos are like way more popular than others, like spoof movies, like Roadrunner, like creative censorship and stuff like that. So I feel like those will be the stuff that will be cited, maybe. But I don't know. Like there was a video I made called New Memories when Rick was born, and I did like a compilation of like my life from like the age of 6 all the way up to me as an adult. So I think it might be probably that one. I think I can see that one being played at my funeral, which is really fucking grim to think about. So have a fullback collaborator with other content creators like H-Bomber Guy. I'd fucking love to work with H-Bomb. Technically I have. We did a Tom Scar video, Wizard the Wizard, and Bible Time. That was me with H-Bomb technically collaborating, but for Tom Scar's channel. But as a collab on Eddache or H-Bomb, I would be thrilled. I'd love to. Even if it was just like a, hey, can you read this extract? I'd be, yes, I would eat that up. Which would be very hard to then read it afterwards. So, all right, I'm gonna call it there, I'm afraid, everyone. So, all right, let me just get the close stream button ready. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. This has been lovely. It's been a long time since I've done a stream, and I am thrilled that I've been joined by a whole bunch of you. I'm sorry the chat has been moving at such a high speed that I've not been able to keep on top with what you've been saying. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this makes up for a lack of video this month. Yeah. Other than that, I will see you again. We have a Patreon, we have a Discord, we have other social media links. They're all in the description down there. But for now, on to the mods as well. Quite right, Eustace Jack. Thank you so much to the mods for diligently monitoring that chat for me. And so I'm going to get ready for the end stream button here. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.